All right, guys, welcome. I know it's early in the morning for some of you guys. It's actually 12:45 on Tuesday here for me, June 6th, 2017. Now, I had no intentions on doing this particular broadcast, but I just decided to do a live broadcast instead of a video because I wanted to talk to some of you guys about something that happens, and the title says it all, brand loyalty. And the reason I put PSA is because, I just didn't plan on doing a broadcast this early. I have other things to do. But I wanted to stop for a second and address this brand loyalty that goes on a lot of YouTube content creators' videos. And it's something that pretty much just needs to go away, but we know it won't go away because there's a lot of people out there with this hidden agenda that I'm just going to go to videos, I'm just going to cause problems. So I'm specifically addressing well, not specifically, but one thing I'm addressing is I guess something happened with HTC and some Elevate thing. I'm not a part of Elevate or whatever that is for HTC, but that is some kind of group that they have. And something happened with Michael Fisher and something with HTC. I don't know what it was, but somebody hit me up on Twitter. This person hit me up on Twitter stating that, oh, you're just praising HTC for something or whatever. But the title, brand loyalty of this video is specifically for people like that. So many people, so many people will watch one of your videos or two of your videos or a few of your videos, and then they'll judge you based on that. And that's unfortunate, but that's just the way it goes. And so many people are loyal to one brand and they don't think that they are. But I wanted to address and get your thoughts on brand loyalty. I don't even know why some people would be so loyal to one brand when you're missing out on a whole bunch of other brands out there. Good smartphones, good products out there from a whole bunch of different OEMs. But brand loyalty to me is just kind of silly, I guess. If you want to stick with one brand, I shouldn't say it's silly because you do get a preference. If you continue to have a good experience with one brand, you're more than likely going to purchase that brand over some other brands. But it still kind of baffles me the way people get upset about YouTube videos. And to me, I just tell people, like I told that person on Twitter a minute ago, just go find something to do because you're totally way off. It's like you can never, as a YouTube content creator, you're never allowed to have an opinion. They just want you to show products to them, and then they sit back and judge you pretty much for everything that they see on camera, and then that's it. But there are a lot of, I'm going to open up my live chat here in just a second, but there are a lot of people out there who are simply just online pretty much just to cause problems. And that's their whole intent. And they can never openly just say that. They won't just come out and say, I'm just going to troll this video. But brand loyalty is your choice to be loyal to one brand. But as a content creator, I'm not going to be loyal to one brand. I'm going to experience all the different brands, all the different products. That's exactly what I'm going to do. And that's what I always do. I try to stay neutral. Well, I don't try. I do stay neutral pretty much on all my videos. So the reason some people might say that I'm, being loyal to one brand is because they probably don't know me as a YouTuber yet. They think they know me, but they watch me for 6 months or a year. But that's why I leave up all of my videos for people to go back and watch. I think it's important that you check out a YouTuber. If you're supporting a YouTuber, you definitely want to go ahead and go back and look at old videos. Some YouTubers might delete their videos, but I don't. I leave them up there, and I have all different kinds of brands. But what is the reasoning behind brand loyalty? Like, why would you go to, and now I'm talking about, let me get one last share out here, put this on Twitter. I'm talking about people who are so adamant about pushing their brand that they'll do anything to the content creator or say anything to try to convince the content creators or just other people in comments that their view is the right view. And I don't understand. Hey everybody, I'm just now open. The live chat just opened. But I don't understand how or what is the importance of. I'm just now. Mike Gang was checking that. So I don't understand the importance of. I hate to call them a name like a fanboy or something like that, but pretty much what is it? My glasses. Oh God, I hope I got my glasses. Oh, I got them. What is it? What is your reasoning behind clicking on videos that you already know you don't like the products that they, or not that you don't like the products, but you're more interested in one brand. So, and specifically, this comes from Samsung people. And I posted a video with the Ultra and the S8 Plus. And I even talked about the S8 Plus a long time ago before it launched, and how I said, I'm going to get it, but it's not going to be my favorite. People are still writing me on that, saying, oh, Jay, I thought you said you hated it. And all I could tell them is just go back and watch the video, because some of those videos are pretty long. And so you can't catch all of it because you want to skip through it and, just kind of watch where you want to watch. But I personally just said I prefer the smaller one over the bigger one. And now that I'm reviewing the big one, I think people might forget that I'm a content creator. I'm a YouTube reviewer, probably because I make videos like this where I just talk to you. I don't just do video reviews. I like to sit down and do a video where I'm talking to you guys, take phone calls sometimes, just whatever. And a lot of other content creators that have millions of subs don't do that. They just put out the videos and then that's it. And they shoot a bunch of vlogs for you where you don't really get to talk to them very often. And most of them don't respond. But I am a content creator and I review all these things. Like when people ask, how can you afford all these? I'm like, what kind of questions are these? Do you go to other content creators' videos and ask them the same thing? People ask, well, what do you do with all those things? Listen, if you're following me, you know what I do with them. I give the stuff away. And I do, people ask for smartphone giveaways. I can, even though I'm the content creator, I definitely can keep up with my comments. Let me catch up on these comments. I just think that right now, pretty much, I think the people that you want to draw into your videos when you're a YouTube content creator is an open-minded person. A closed-minded person will look at that video I made about Apple yesterday and probably get upset. They might say, oh, he was making fun of Apple. But really, in all actuality, I was giving Apple a lot of props. Samsung right now seems to have the most haters. And I say that not so much in a derogatory way, but if a person says something, see, so many people think this phone is so great. And if I post a video contrary to what everybody else is posting, I'm a Samsung hater, right? I hate Samsung. But people who say that, I don't take them serious because they're just visitors. They don't know anything about ZTE. They don't know anything about HTC. They don't know about LG. They don't know about all the different brands that I actually am fond of. But I see things clearly. And the reason I can do that is because I don't work for anybody. I don't work for a network. I don't work for any one company. I don't work for anybody. So I don't have this brand loyalty that some people seem to think I have. Right now, somebody on Twitter, and you can just go to my Twitter and you'll see the conversation. This person is suggesting that, I'm basically I'm supporting HTC all of a sudden because of something that happened. I have no idea what the person's talking about. Something happened, I guess, with Michael Fisher. I don't know what it is because I don't follow Michael Fisher on Twitter. I don't follow him. So I have no idea. And I'm not a part of HTC community. I'm not a part of any of that. When I'm promoting this phone and saying great things about it, or when I'm promoting Apple phones and saying great thing about it, I'm always a fan of that. When I promoted the ZTE Blade X Max or the ZTE Z Max Pro, I was working for ZTE. I was, people just didn't want to hear the truth is what it is. I think somebody said that in a comment in my video recently. Some people also, for this person, Gomez, saying it's a waste of time. I'm not defending myself. See, that's the problem right there. You, sir, have blinders on. You've got to learn to think with an open mind. How in the world am I defending myself by talking about brand loyalty? What the heck are you talking about? How is a video like this defending myself? What are you talking about? Brand loyalty is a preference. And all I'm saying is I don't have brand loyalty. So if you think that I'm defending myself, you're just not paying attention. So you have 2 of these and 1 of these. Try to focus. And like the person on Twitter, I told him, don't be so judgmental because I have no idea what you're talking about, to that person on Twitter. And the same thing applies to Gomez247. If you think the video is a waste of time, move on, because you're obviously not paying attention. This is a discussion about brand loyalty. I'm not defending myself. And that's another thing about people on YouTube comments. People in YouTube comments are very fast to say that the content creator, when making a video like this, is explaining themselves, or they're trying to defend something. You're totally way off. You need to think with an open mind, because it's easy to sit behind the computer screen and not get on camera. But when you put yourself out there and you get on camera, my thin skin is thick enough. This isn't even serious enough. Like when people make comments like that, or people, when people say things that are just out the other end, you just kind of brush them off. Like, it's specifically when I make videos like the U Ultra versus the SA Plus, and I name out things that are better on the U Ultra, who's doing the brand loyalty? Who's being loyal to one brand? When people come onto the video and say things like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. The SA Plus is the best phone on the market. That's just crazy. But you don't have the U Ultra. And I think that when people start to say that, oh, Jay, you just loyal to HTC, you're loyal to ZTE, I don't have a reason to explain myself to anybody. I think you might just have not been watching me long enough, because I don't get paid to explain myself, or I prefer a discussion type of video. And if we could have a round table, that would be fantastic. But I think, this comment from Gomez and the guy on Twitter, you have blinders on, especially when it's coming to me, because you don't really know me. If you don't know me by now on YouTube, something's wrong. Something's wrong. Why you hate Samsung? Yeah, I hate Samsung. I really hate Samsung. I'm spending thousands of dollars on Samsung products, and I'm spending thousands of dollars on Samsung products since day one, and I hate Samsung. The reality is, you might be too much in love with Samsung, and you might not be thinking clearly. See, because to me, I make videos about the way I make them to get people to step away from all those paid reviews. There are paid reviews out there. Are you guys, not all of you, but you guys can't be that naive. And if it doesn't apply to you, then just let it fly. But you can't be that naive to watch one of my videos and think that I'm paid by someone, opposed to other reviewers who are not buying everything, they're getting everything, and they're picking and choosing who they want to praise. That's what it is. Brand loyalty is not coming from content creators. What you see on YouTube, from reviews, most of it is not real. You'll get the real reviews from and I hate to say it, but most of the more honest reviews are coming from people. And I've met some of your favorite content creators, and let me tell you, their personalities are not all that in person, just so you know. The content that you see on channels that are just not famous, and the people stood in line like you did, or they pre-ordered like you did, those are the videos that I prefer to watch. Because I don't have a big selection of people that I want to watch, because I'm a content creator. So if I go look at Pocket Now or Michael Fisher or Jaime Reyes and all these guys, I'm going to look at their reviews and say, okay, this was like a TV show to me. I just saw a whole bunch of movie type cinematic stuff and a storyline and all that. And I didn't really learn anything. I just learned how pretty the phone is, and I got that person's personal review on it, which is all reviews really are, personal views. Even mine are not that objective. Everything is subjective. But I think this stuff that comes from Samsung fans in particular right now, it's almost amazing that people are so naive to believe that this is the best camera. And the fact that people get so mad about it, oh my God, when they leave, they leave these comments, and I just look at the comment. Once I start seeing profanity or them saying, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, I skim through it, delete it, because they didn't, I can, believe it or not, I can tell who watches a video based on your comment. Some people I respond to, some people I don't. You don't understand where I'm coming from. No need for this video like this. I enjoy your videos. I'm on your side, Jay Will. Listen, again, I don't beg for people to subscribe to me, and that's from this person, Gomez. It's all love, but I'm telling you directly, and if we were face to face, I'd say the same thing. That I don't have to, how do I say this without coming across a little too harsh? You're saying this video doesn't make any sense. The video just started. I'm only 15 minutes into the video, and you made that comment at about 3 minutes in. You looked at the title, you listened to a couple things I said, and this is the type of thing I'm talking about, commenting before without watching the video. You see the title, this, and you guys know that this happens. And hey, Gomez, if you feel like I'm calling you out, I'm not trying to, but you're responding here. You know? So, you know, Samsung commenters in my videos are probably not subscribed to me, because I look at the video I just put up, like I said, about this phone versus the Ultra. Listen, if you feel like this camera is better than this camera, so be it. So be it. But I say, and several other people who have both of these phones pick this camera over this camera, period. But it's not that we're right. It's not that we're right and you're wrong. It's still a matter of personal preference. And someone said that earlier in the comments. It's about personal preference. You know, and shout out to LaShawn, man. I personally think it is a Samsung Nice. Who else would it be? Nobody's. First of all, I think when you give people power, you know, there's power in words and there's power in what you do and what you say. So these Samsung Nights, listen, this is such an old story. That horse is down to a half a kneecap. I was associated with these dudes and I decided not to because I didn't like how they operated. That's just that. But what they do is they come to every video I have about Samsung, and if it's not something good, they vote it down, they leave a stupid comment, I delete them. That's the routine. Those guys are probably close to my age. I don't know. Some of them are, you know, some of them are not. But even though this is the internet, you still have to conduct yourself in the right way. You have to present yourself in the right way, you know, and you know that this is, when you think about it, why are people getting upset? I think people, you know what, you're right, Ohio, the haters are always going to be there. So I'm not really so much trying to address the haters. I just like to talk about this brand loyalty thing. And if you see the title of a video and you see that it says things that I don't like about the HTC U11, and you love the Ultra, or you don't even buy HTC products, your number one products are LG. Like all the videos I put up about the LG, and I said the camera did better than the S8 in some places, you know, but the front camera on the S8 is better than the G6. People still will find a way. And I used to think that Apple brand loyalists were the worst. I think that Samsung brand loyalists, it's not all, because I'm a Samsung fan, you know, but it's not all of them. But there are several people out there, and you know, LaShawn, you could be right. This could be those Samsung Nice. I don't know why we even talk about them, I guess, because they're not even a real group. I guess they're just some people on Google Plus that team up because they like Samsung products only. That's really all they are. But the thing that makes it bad about some of them, not all, is that they troll videos for real. And it's sad that Richard, you know, this person, Richard, I'm not going to talk about him because he's not here to defend himself. So there's people in that group that are really nice, and I've spoken to them. But there's a bunch of them there that are just disrespectful. And they don't see it, but it's bigger than the internet. You know, you can't go on, just because you're on the internet, you can say what you want to say, but it just makes you look bad in the end, because all you do is build up a bad name. So I retract, you know, I shouldn't say that person's name on video because the person isn't here. because I got him blocked too, because he's just so he's just a clown. You know, he does clown-like things, childish behavior. And if you're just going to be loyal to that one brand, I guess I want to say, only click on those videos. Why are you clicking on videos that are not Samsung if you know that your only thing that you love is Samsung videos? So if someone could tell me, G6 is boss, man. G6, somebody asked how my G6 is. I'm gonna be a fanboy. I got a little shelf right there with all of my phones. I actually have a shelf. I have a shelf where I separate the tier of phones. It's pretty tight. I got like high tier, mid tier, and low end. This is in the top drawer, obviously, but my G6 is running like a champ. I'd love to know. Yeah, yeah, got him on the block party. You're right, LaShawn. I'd love to know the purpose of the brand loyalty. Is anybody in this chat where you only are purchasing one brand of phone and you will only purchase one brand of phone? If you are, do you consider yourself, how do you see yourself? Like, do you watch other videos and go to those videos just to vote them down and then say bad things about them? Anybody in that realm? It's not that this is from John Moore. He says, not that I'm loyal to Apple, but performance-wise, I haven't found anything that runs better than my iPhone. I get hated every day for liking Apple, but I do respect Android. You know what? What type of system do I use? I use Mac products to edit and do everything. I'm definitely loving my iPad Pro. I got my MacBook Pro, iPhones. Maybe the people that should be in this chat, they're not here. I think I just like tech all around, and I guess I'm more curious as to why a person would waste their time to go to videos and scout out forums of things that they know they don't like, and then just I'm gonna say something stupid on there just to try to piss everybody off, because I'm small enough on YouTube to where I can monitor every comment, delete, block. I don't know how it'll be once I get to 100,000 or something. I don't know how easy it'll be, but right now I'm just pushing up almost on 50,000, and it's very difficult, but it's doable, you know. I prefer Motorola because of the software, but I'm a tech guy, so I don't hate it others. See, and I guess that's what it's saying. Pretty much people in this chat the majority of you seem like you're open to whatever, you know. You're not, you like certain brands more than others, you know. So Daniel says, yes, Meizu #1, Meizu software, then Samsung/LG software. So he's kind of naming the ones that he likes in the order. So he likes the Meizu software better. I appreciate you, Snyder Harrison. I still use my Trio 700 for my daily driver, and that's IMJ Will 45,000. Oh, Lord have mercy. This guy's name here, I guess it's some prank. What's going on, Sincere? Sincere, oh my God, Sincere is here. Sean says he likes anything that has stock. You know, I know, Miguel, I said the same thing. I was like, what? I realized that name. How many do I have phone? I don't know how many phones I have right now. I can probably see about 15 sitting in this drawer right here and on my desk and stuff. But I have I keep some stored away because I want to keep them in pristine condition, you know, because some of them I don't really want to use daily. So LaShawn, we already know, if you don't know LaShawn, he's definitely Google for everything. But LaShawn, when I see him comment on, he kind of makes a joke about it. Like when I post stuff he posts a comment pretty much on every video that I do just about, or on Twitter or something like that. And I know that he's definitely a Google fan. I'm a Google fan, but he's like pro Google. Like he doesn't buy anything but Nexus devices from what I understand. But when he says something about like another phone, it's not really, it doesn't come across as an insult. You know, you know that he's joking around, you know, he's going to clown you basically, you know, he's going to tell you, you know, hey, look, man, you better rethink that or whatever. You are a HTC bro all day. No, I'm not. I like HTC products. I like Samsung products, LG. I like them all. I feel like people who have brand loyalty, really not tech people, not really technology. You know what? I agree. That's from Brandon. If you're just thinking about one brand, how can you say that you're really into technology? Because let's be honest here. Right now, Samsung isn't the only company that's doing some kind of innovation. I mean, let's be honest here. Look what happened to the Apple event yesterday. They brought some good stuff. It's a little dated. Some of the stuff that they brought out is already out on Android. But still, you know, let's be clear here. You know, Apple's operating system may be boring at times and really outdated. However, it's buttery smooth. I don't have any problems on any of my Apple products as far as software. And software, did you guys see that shot they took at Android yesterday? It was totally deserved. Why is it the Android adoption rate for Nougat still isn't at 100% or in the 90%? Why is that? iOS is 96%. Android is 7%. That's ridiculous. And there's no arguing that. If you try to argue that, you're wasting your time. You know, but I think I like that person's comment when they said that if you're just loyal to one brand, you're not really into technology. I wouldn't say for Ohio, I don't think you should probably switch to another platform, just cut and dry drop. Transition over. Keep both your phones and turn off your Android phone and use your iPhone as you would and try to do everything that you do on your Android phone and don't think about it. Just use it. That'll be your determining factor whether or not you can actually switch platforms. Do you think the HTC M7 will get Android 7.0 update? Probably not. If you root it, yeah. I just got an SA Plus on Infinity Mobile. Have you checked them out? Xfinity Mobile? Never heard of them. I have an unlocked phone, so I don't know about Xfinity Mobile. So there's phone, like right now, I guess every phone that comes out, you do have Samsung has a bigger following than a lot of brands, because Samsung has been around for a long time. But I think as content viewers, you should really try to keep an open mind and not focus just on one brand. Like if you say that you're a technology enthusiast and you say that you love technology, how is that possible when you're only promoting one brand and you're only interested in one brand? And I say brand, like I think Samsung, and listen, I spent my money on this phone. If you like the Samsung Galaxy S8, how do you ever get out of your comfort zone by trying something else? Like, I think that if you run a tech channel, don't take this the wrong way, Anthony, my Project 13. But if you run a channel, you should be if you run a tech channel today, you have to be willing to dibble and dabble in all kinds of technology so your viewers can expand and grow with you. So with that being said, everybody needs to tell my Project 13 he needs to at least buy the iPhone. He still hasn't bought an iPhone. So yes, I'm going to blast you like that all the time, Anthony. If you're going to run a tech channel today, you need to be leveled across the board. Okay, so that video that I put out yesterday, it has tons of thumbs down. And I think some people, I don't care about thumbs downs though. I don't really care about that. Those don't really mean anything to me. I think that people think when they thumb you down, it hurts your feelings or something. I don't care. Thanks for stopping by. That's what I got to say to them. Now, of all the videos that I posted on the Samsung S8 and the S8 Plus right here, the video that I just put up, Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus versus HTC U Ultra, 60 thumbs up, 23 thumbs down, 73 comments, right? People who commented on that video are pretty much I just read the comments. They're agreeing amongst themselves. But then you'll have those people that come through and you can tell that they don't watch the video and they just comment because they like Samsung. They like Samsung, so I'm just going to comment and tell everybody how I feel about Samsung, and that's all I want to do. But in the comments now on the live stream, they're talking about the Essentials phone. People are already judging the Essentials phone, and they're judging the U11 as well, before it's pretty much out. I'm not talking about the people in the comments. I'm talking about on the internet. The Essentials phone, right? Yeah. You're right. Somebody said in the comments, it's smartphone conversations, not Samsung conversations. You have to be, I totally agree. But the Essentials phone, even the OnePlus 5. Now, I did a video yesterday for Smartphone News, which I do every Monday. And I said, you guys, that the announcement is going to be, it'll be the 20th. And today, the information went out. You all got your emails that the 20th, they posted online. The OnePlus 5 will come out. People will say OnePlus 5 enthusiast also, which is like this big. I mean, it's like that many OnePlus enthusiasts in the world compared to Samsung enthusiasts. Yeah, Miguel says it right. How can you judge something you don't have? That's another thing. But the OnePlus 5 community is about this big compared to the rest of the tech community. I'm being nice. People will see the specs on that phone and say it's going to decimate all. Just because it's going to have more RAM than this phone, more RAM than all those other phones I have over there. They're going to say it's going to decimate all and it's a kill-all phone. But OnePlus is definitely not going to sell that phone for $300. And right now, I'm not really wowed at what I've seen. For what I've seen, like I've seen about the OnePlus. I think that OnePlus needs to do something to make themselves stand out like they did at the beginning, except for that horrible invite system. The OnePlus on paper may sound great, but that's just what's going to happen. So Techzilla says his U11 is getting delivered tomorrow. And my U11 isn't getting delivered tomorrow. It's not getting delivered. What color did you get, Techzilla? That's a phone right there. Now, so online, I said this. On Twitter, I said this just a little while ago. Look it up, Mr. J. Williams on Twitter. I said the HTC U11 is the smart choice right now. It's the choice to make. It's the phone to purchase. Some people say, and that's when that guy jumped in and started saying, oh, are you praising this because of what happened? I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Don't know anything about what's happening with Michael Fisher because I don't follow him. I don't follow Pocket Now, any of those. So, when it comes to the U11, I still stand firm on that. I would love to get that solar red. Oh man, I would love to get that solar red. But what's going on? Otech is in the house. Hope y'all checked out. Hit Otech's channel, man. He's gonna be taking a break from YouTube for a while, and yeah. So the U11, personally, I think looks a lot better than this phone, but it's just personal preference. I think it looks a lot better. And the screen will be great. Probably the battery life should be fantastic. It's just gonna be one of those things that if you're not a tech reviewer, you guys are gonna live vicariously through the people online. It's really what you're doing. Someone in Extreme, Kartik Shudair says, don't you feel the squeeze on the 11 is gimmicky? I don't even have it yet. I don't have it yet. So I don't know that it could be gimmicky, but I will say this. What's going on? Asian Tech, average Asian Tech is out there hollering from Michigan. What's going on? I will say this. When you take a photo, now just listen. When you take a photo with the phone, currently, if it doesn't have a shutter button, you have to touch the screen. With the U11, you can program that squeeze to take a photo or start a video. So do you think that's a gimmick or not? Most phones don't have a shutter button. Doesn't have a shutter button. So, but the only way I can tell you for sure, though, is to get it in hand and test it out, and you will see it right here. No doubt, you will see it. So to say, do I think it's a gimmick? I don't know yet. The Pixel 2 they're talking about from John Mooring, we don't even have any like solid information on the Pixel 2 yet. But, you know, use it. Oh yeah, Miguel went to the event. It felt good to use, he says. So for a person to say appreciate the donation, Gomez. For a person to say is it a gimmick? I don't know yet, because that's what I plan on using that squeeze feature for. Think about it. I take a lot of video and photos, and if you don't have a shutter button, Bauer 317, what's going on, man? If you don't have a shutter button on the outside, like my Sony joint, oh, I love this phone. This has a shutter button, so I don't need anything else. But any other phone, when you're trying to hold and shoot a video, you're going to hold it like this because you're going to touch the screen, right? You're going to be touching the screen to take photos. With the U11, I can just do it like this. I can do it like this, and I'm out of the way of the screen, and I can just give it a little squeeze, and boom, I can take a photo or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But to call it a gimmick, I don't know yet. I don't know yet. Not necessarily. We don't know yet. We don't have it yet. We don't know yet. Okay, so that is a possibility though. Like, so Demir is talking about, shout out to Demir, by the way. In the comments, he said, if you squeeze it, you'll get a shaky photo. I'm pretty sure that they thought about that prior to putting that feature in. Come on, think about that now. They know that my old hands, I shake all the time doing videos and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure that they probably thought of that prior to putting that feature on the phone. And for video, it's just a squeeze and it starts it up. So, I mean, think about that now. I don't think this company put out this, and you know the phone has EIS and OIS. So I don't know that they would bring that feature to a phone and not really think it all the way through. At least I would. If I was making this phone, I would have found a way to say, hey, look, we got to figure out a way, because people might take a photo and it'll shake and come out blurry. But I don't know. Yeah, when I do like that, when I squeeze a little bit, I can see it, my hand shaking a little bit, but you're just gonna have to get it in hand. Oh, so Demir says he knows someone that has the 11 and he uses it to start the camera, but he doesn't use it for the shutter. I'm going to use it for the shutter because that's what they've been definitely promoting. So I'm going to use it for that. Oh yeah, Matt Johnson. Also, yeah, you can, and also another thing, Matt made a good point. You can also use your volume rockers for shutters. So yeah, you can use volume rockers for shutters on cameras now. So that's another plus. So, I mean, is it U11 not worth it? Comes with useless features like comparing high-end car. What are you talking about? This person, Daniel, those are the type of people I'm talking about. No disrespect, Daniel, but your comment can't be taken serious because, for one, you don't have the phone yet. You haven't even used it. And if you do have it and you have used it, link me on Twitter at Mr. J.L. Williams with your videos and photos and everything, and then we can have a conversation. But when we talked about this earlier at the beginning of the stream, when people make those kind of judgments, I think Miguel said it at the beginning of the machine, when people make judgments like that without having it, personally, I can't take you serious. I just don't take you serious, you know? You can also use voice activation for things on your camera. Yeah, that's good. You can do hand signals. Yeah, that is true. Well, Carlos says he's confused. Some people say it's good. Some people say it's bad. The way to solve for that is to buy it yourself and use it for yourself. That's what you have to do. That's what you got to do. If you're watching a bunch of other people's opinions and trying to figure out how you're going to like a phone, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You need to actually get it yourself. Yeah, user 271 says even voice involves some type of movement. You're right. You can actually set the U11 squeeze feature, not just for camera, but you can launch applications. You can launch Google Voice. You can launch anything with the squeeze feature. So is it a gimmick? Probably not. Probably it's just going to be a matter of preference. Some people are going to disable it, just like I disabled Bixby on this phone. I think it's silly that they have a dedicated button for something that's not even usable or completely ready according to Samsung. Why would you waste the hardware right there? I would have taken a camera shutter button on the other side down here on the bottom instead of that Bixby button. Pointless. That's just me. Yeah, you got to buy it, you know, and when people make comments about it's not good, it's not worth it, you're definitely entitled to make any opinion you want. And I'm not saying you're wrong. When people make comments like that, all I say is I can't really take you serious. If we're talking about a phone, I did a poll on Google Plus and Twitter, and I said, if you own both the HTC U Ultra and the SA Plus, be honest, which camera takes better video and photos and stuff? A lot of Samsung votes come in. Then I said, link me a picture of both your phones now on Twitter. 2 people responded. 2 people. 2 people. I don't know why so many people are so excited about the Samsung Galaxy S8. You know? And honestly, I think, man, if I still have my Pixel, I probably would take the Pixel. I would take several phones over this phone. I just would. You know, somebody asked me about the Mate 9. No, he said he was going back to his Huawei Honor Note 8. He got rid of his S8 Plus. And I said I would actually even take the Mate 9 over the S8 Plus. That's just me. I just think the S8, the Mate 9 is a beautiful. It runs so much better than this phone. The Kirin 960. Anybody in this stream have the Mate 9 and the S8 Plus? The Kirin 960 is one of the baddest processors out there. The Kirin 960 is a boss. The Kirin 950, boss. Those processors, coupled with Huawei, what Huawei's done, those phones run like a champ. The Mate 9 is such a fantastic phone. Fantastic. What's my top phone of 2017 so far? Oh, wow, good question. I'm glad you said so far. I don't really have a top phone, you know, because you could be talking about price, and there's too many things that go into it. And there's a lot of phones. I'm getting ready to get a bunch of phones. I don't have the 11 in-house yet. I don't have the BlackBerry KeyOne in-house yet. There's several phones I just don't have in-house yet to make that. But I can tell you the Mate 9 is a beast. I really enjoy. I hate that I got rid of my Mate 9. I got rid of it because I knew I would get it again. But hey, top 3. Top 3. I can't really answer that though, because again, there's phones that I want. Like I love the G6. I like this phone. This phone is definitely in the higher ranking, you know. But the G6 I think is a more well-rounded purchase. It costs half of what this phone costs, pretty much, or just over half. $500 for the G6, and you know what? The U Ultra now is down to $500. For everybody who said I'm waiting on the U Ultra to drop to 500, now's your chance to get it, because it's definitely worth $500. But the G6 is a more well-rounded device to me than this phone, just because, you know, price plays a huge price point in here. This phone is more realistic. It's compact. You still get a big screen. You know. It's, I don't know. The build quality on this phone is better, in my opinion. You know, the G6 cameras, you guys remember when I didn't used to use manual mode and I was using the V20? and I just didn't want to go into manual mode. I regret not going into manual mode. I'm man enough to say it. I regret not using manual mode on the V20 because now I'm going to have to go buy a V20 and use manual mode, because the V10, I used manual mode and I loved it. Something about the V20's hardware, I just despised it. It was just too, I don't know, something about it. I just didn't like it. The hardware, that is. Not the phone, the hardware. But this phone right here, to me, is top notch, and I could probably recommend this to a lot of people. Now, if you don't want to spend 500 bucks, I've said it a million times, this is the phone to buy. The Moto G5 Plus. 64 gigs onboard storage, 4 gigs of RAM, Snapdragon 625, fabulous cameras, Moto gestures, decent hardware. Doesn't have the big screen, but still, if you don't want to spend 500 on the G6, definitely grab the Moto G5 Plus. You will be happy with that phone. But I think the G6 is probably a well-rounded purchase that I can recommend to a person. All right, man, take care, Matthew. I can recommend to a person today. The G6 is really good. So if you still have a Mate 9, wow, the Mate 9 is a really good purchase too. But if you want a more compact phone with a big screen, the reason I'm not saying that, like, this is the S8 Plus, and the reason I'm not saying S8, the reason I'm not saying S8, because this phone is extremely expensive. It's $750, you know. But there are phones out there that I want to always recommend. Some people don't have the pleasure to get the Axon 7 because it's not in their country. But the Axon 7, to me, man, I got to power on my bad boy because I haven't powered this up in a little bit. The Axon 7, wow. This is probably one of the better phones that I have. Speaker quality, the screen is beautiful. The hardware is just beautiful. I really like it. But, you know, I want to talk about the Note 8 real quick. Somebody just talked about it in the stream. The Note 8, so Techzilla says in the UK, the G6 is 700 pounds and the S8 is 600. Yeah, he talked about that in one of his videos. So if you haven't seen that video, I watched Techzilla's video when he was talking about like pricing on things, and it's a smarter choice. I mean, I'm not going to tell him, no, you need to get the G6. It's a smarter purchase. If the phone is less expensive, then yeah, because you're getting a lot with the S8 and the S8 Plus feature set, and you may not get that many features with the G6. But to me, the G6 in the US is a better purchase than the S8. And where he's at in the UK, the S8 costs less. I don't know why they do that or how they come up with these numbers. But I don't know how they do that. Like, how do they come up with these figures to where they're going to sell? Why can't they just sell for the same price across the board? Like, when the price drops here, make the conversion rate to where it's $500 over in the UK. Why do they do that? Like, what's the purpose of that? Why are they doing that to people? So I don't know, man. I don't know why they do that. This phone is so beautiful. Oh, man. But they really should sell the phones across the board at the same price. Sam's Club has the Level Up Pro headphones, so Samsung headphones, for 30 bucks. I think that's a great deal because the Level Up headphones are really nice. Yep. Got an update on my Axon 7. Gonna go ahead and let that update. But guys, I wanted to make a stream because, you know, I guess I'm kind of tired of people who don't like Samsung. And I need to reverse that. I guess I'm kind of tired of these, because what you're doing is you're giving some of the good OEMs, like, this is a great, I've been supporting Samsung since, whoo, man, what's going on, Joseph? I've been supporting Samsung for so long, it's unbelievable. And if a person, I guess if I I would tell people, if you know that you don't like something, like a brand, why are you still clicking on those videos? I know, LaShawn, I'm gonna let that update happen. I got an update on my Axon 7. Why are you still clicking on videos? And somebody, the guy on Twitter was like, I'm not trolling, but, and that's just that petty gossip and stuff. Hey, what's going on? Hector in the house. What's going on, man? That's that petty gossip that these people are really childish online, I guess. Dealing with comments on YouTube. I got to do my live podcast. My live podcast will be starting here. I'm going to start it a little early, and I'm going to continue this conversation over into that a little bit. But, you know, take care, Anthony. Buy an iPhone, Anthony. I don't understand. And people who say, you ever heard this comment before? I don't mean to be disrespectful, but, and then they go on to insult you. You ever heard that one before? I ain't trying to insult you, but then they go on and say something really rude. So same thing with the trolling. Yeah, and that's why, like LaShawn was saying, even though he only likes Google, but see, the difference is, I know LaShawn is not trolling. Like he's, hey Ryan, he's not, the reason, and I'm just using LaShawn for an example. I hope you don't mind, LaShawn. But in comments, like if I know LaShawn is saying something, I know he's not trolling, you know, based on our history. Like at first, when I first met him, I was like, whoa, he's slamming me hard, you know. Then I realized this guy's just clowning me, you know. He's joning on me. He coming at me. Have some fun, relax, loosen up. So LaShawn does watch every video. And I don't think he's trolling at all. I can genuinely tell that he's not trolling. Techzilla says, I can tell you something crazy in the UK on the HTC website. The U Ultra is $649 and the U11 is $649. That is crazy. Those are selling for the same price. I don't understand, you know, let me read this comment from BlackChan29. Shout out to BlackChan29. The reason they troll is because people feel tough behind the keys. You know what? I somewhat agree with that comment, because there are, depending on what the comment is, and basically what you're saying is the people who get on there and like really go hard and try to trash the people, you know, they are trying to be tough behind the keys. There's no other way to say that. But I think I can differentiate who really likes tech and who doesn't. I'm not out trying to tell people, oh yeah, I need you to watch all my videos and subscribe to me, because I'm a viewer too. I'm on YouTube so much watching videos and stuff. Even though I'm a content creator, it's hard to keep up with all the people that you're watching. You know, it's tough. So I feel sorry for the people who do subscribe to a lot of people. And digital effects, I see you have a tough job because you have to keep up with all these videos, and because especially me, because I pump out a lot of videos, you know. And I said, the maestro, he definitely is following me for sure for a while, because that's an inside thing. But I do try to keep up with people, and I may pump out a lot of videos, but a lot of those videos are set. I've said this a million times. The videos are set to publish. And do you have YouTube Red? I turned off my YouTube Red. I had YouTube Red for about 10 months or so, and I turned it off. So Hector says, I'm a diehard Pixel fan. I didn't know you was a diehard Pixel fan, man. I didn't know that. And I follow you online too. I didn't know that. He says, but I admire innovation, and when another company does something good, props are deserved. That's right. He says he feels like the S8 is a beautiful device. It's just not for him. Jason Gill says people troll mostly because they have so much negative energy, and I totally agree. Because when you think about like this, if you waste your time typing out a comment that's saying something very insulting or rude, it's just a reflection of how you feel about yourself in most cases. Somebody actually told me, why do you always try to be so positive on your videos? And they were talking about like not using profanity and stuff like that. And that profanity and how you come across, some people may slip up and say the D word or the S word or something like that. But I just feel like the way you present. Here's a tip for people who want to get free phones and you want to start a YouTube channel. If you own a company and you want to target a certain audience, would you send your $1,000 product to a person who's sitting on camera drinking, cussing, just putting out the wrong image? If that's the market you're trying to get to, then you probably will. But overall, that type of audience is smaller than we think. It's smaller than we think. And those types of people, you want to avoid. So on channels where it's a cuss word every 5 minutes, and there's not a lot of channels like this. Think about it. There's not a lot of channels with that vulgar language and that thuggish attitude of, I'm going to do what I want to do. You can't stop. There's not a lot of channels like that. But there are some, and there is an audience that likes that type of deal. But if I owned a company, I would not send my product to someone like that. I just wouldn't do it. I don't want to draw in that negative type of energy. Have you ever been on those comments like that where everybody just cussing each other out? You're like, wow, what happened to talking about the phone? What happened to talking about the tablet? What happened to talking about the computer? Who in their right mind would send their $1,500 laptop or $800 phone to somebody who represents themselves like that? Now, I got to say, like I said before, there is an audience for that. But the audience is smaller than we think. Much smaller. So when the person was like, oh, Jay, why you don't do this? And I'm like, why do you want me to use bad language and carry myself bad on camera just to satisfy you and get some kind of gratification off of that? You can be, I've not given a positive review on everything I have here. The HTC U Ultra doesn't get a pass as a flawless phone. It's not. But there are a lot of great things about that phone. And the cameras, the speakers, the screen, the fingerprint. There's just a bunch of things that the hardware, it doesn't get a pass though. I mean, I didn't give that phone a flawless review. This phone right here, I haven't even reviewed this one yet. I'm late to the game. I know. I'm late to the game because I waited to get this unlocked version. So I don't mind because I'm not in a race with anybody. When I say I'm late to the game, that means that everybody else already pushed out their reviews on this phone. And even though this phone is only like a month and a half, 2 months old, it's still considered old in the tech world because you've got all these other phones that have come out. So when I talk about brand loyalty, most of that stuff, that negative energy, like the person said earlier, our job is not, even though this is tech, folks, you gotta remember, the way you present yourself on camera, that's how you're going to be remembered. So if a company wants to scout somebody out, they're probably going to overlook you. Because if you make a lot of videos where you're trashing other people or doing just unnecessary things on video, cussing and just drinking, and believe it or not, people do that, you're probably not going to get selected for any product reviews. I love to get product reviews, man. When ZTE sent me those 2 phones, I was like, boom, thank you. I was excited. I may be a reviewer, but that's another thing. I don't mind letting people know I'm excited on camera. I mean, I've said it a bunch of times. Those reviews where people are just reading, this is the Axon 7. It has a 5.5. Those are just boring to me. Then they pan around, give you some music, and then come back around. Man, sitting in front of the camera and just talking is just what I like to do. And I'll give you a review, and that's about it. If you don't like that, hey, not gonna apologize. There's plenty of other channels out there, not a lot, but there's some out there to get you off on using bad language and whatever it is you get from that. But if I'm gonna present myself on YouTube, I'm going to present myself in a way that I know my granddaughter might be watching. She might look at this one day and be like, oh my God, my grandpa was on camera cussing and drinking and taking shots of Hennessy and Coke, and he was doing all kinds of stuff, but he told me not to do that. But he's on camera doing it. Think about it. Especially if you got young kids and you're a tech reviewer. Yeah. I don't have like this somebody told me, you never say any bad things about a phone. It's not about saying bad things about a phone. It's about positive and negative. And that person who talked about that negative energy for the trolls, totally on point. You are totally right. Totally right. A great example, Digital Effects has a comment. Before I get to my comment, Digital Effects says, if you represent your channel in a negative way, carriers don't want their products in a negative light. Totally agree. Totally agree. But I got a great example about this phone right here. About this phone. And I hate to keep using him, but I know he's not here. I don't think he's here. But Grant S has the XZ, the new Sony, and he put it up against this phone. That video passed 100,000 views in 1 week. You know why? Because the truth hurts. Truth hurts. This phone is not the best camera on the market. Somebody said, why do you hate Samsung? Why do you hate Samsung? Listen, I hate Samsung because I'm willing to tell the truth about what I feel about this camera. I'm not going to get on camera and tell you Samsung did it. The Samsung Galaxy S8 is top tier camera. It's better than all others. In fact, when I posted the S7, which I'm using right now, this is the front camera on the S7. When I posted the S7 versus the S8, and I said I prefer the S7 more, I got slammed really hard. Did I care? No. Bible says dust that stuff off your feet. So I just dusted off my shoulder. I don't care about nobody not agreeing with me. I don't like when people say you're wrong. I'm wrong because we don't have the same opinion about something. That makes no sense. I personally feel like, and if you listen to what I'm saying, I personally feel like the S7 has the better cameras. There's no focus hunting going on right here with this one right here. And I'll admit, when I first got my S8, I didn't have any focus hunting issues, but on this S8 Plus, I kind of see it a little bit. Yep. The rich one for you, I see. What phone doesn't have the best camera? See, I think right now, I'm gonna read this comments. You're really positive, great on those videos and presenting yourself. Thank you, Joseph. Say what you want about any phone that you spent your own money on. And that's not and I agree with that statement, but, and Miguel says the S7 is built better too. I think so too. I think the G6 has better build quality than the S8 Plus. But for people to say, those brand loyalists out there who are only faithful to Samsung, a couple questions. Do you have stock with Samsung? Probably not. Do you work for the company? Probably not. Are you standing in line spending your money just like me? Probably so. So why are you so set on saying that this is the best without trying other products? That's what I don't understand. How is that even possible? Why would you even put yourself in a bracket like that? But back to what I was saying, Grant posted a video with this phone versus that new Sony. That new Sony crushed this camera. What did the brand loyalists do to him? No, it's still, Samsung's still the best. I don't even see how a person could even fix their mouths to say that. It doesn't mean that I hate this phone. One time I was gonna make a video saying I don't hate Samsung. It was just gonna be a prank, a joke or whatever, but Grant's video versus this one right here, it's at 100. Where is it at? Where did that video go? It was at 100 and something thousand last time I looked at it, I think. Where did it go? Oh, it's at 167,000 views. This phone versus the XZS, 167,000 views in less than. He posted that officially 1 month ago. And I told Grant, hey, way to go viral, baby. Way to go viral. It actually hit like 100,000 in the first week, I believe. Sammy's the best. LaShawn said, you know, that Samsung is the best. Man, That video by Grant is at 167,000 views. And when I commented on there, I told him the same thing. I said, listen, your results about the SA camera are pretty much in line with mine. You know, if you feel like, now here's the flip side of me telling a person that this isn't the best camera. That's my point of view. But listen, if you think it's the best camera, that's all that matters. When people say things like, Jay, the LG G6 doesn't have the best camera, I'm like, oh, okay. I appreciate your opinion. I respond, well, you know, I appreciate your opinion. There's no need to come back with, you stupid MF, you don't even know what you're talking about. And I'm like, well, I got both phones right here in front of me. Again, this is my opinion. I don't see how I don't know what I'm talking about. The purpose of brand loyalty, I guess, is maybe those people are getting some perks behind it. They're getting some kind of money, or they're getting something. I wouldn't support a brand the way some of the, and this video isn't just to take shots at Samsung fans, don't get me wrong, but they seem to be the most active on my channel. When I'm saying nice things about the Samsung Galaxy S8, nothing but love. Nothing but love. But if I say something like, well, you know, the Samsung Galaxy S8 is, you know, and it's so funny because some of my subscribers are subscribed to other people that I'm subscribed to. Let me see. Do you think Samsung, that's correct, Brian. We all get one. Do you think, this is from the Maestro, do you think Samsung fell short with the SA because they're putting all their chips in, on the Note? I think they need to run home and with the Note. I don't think they fell short with the S8 because the S8 is a good phone. It's just not. I'm not as excited as I was when I cracked the seal, like I was when I cracked the seal on the Mi Mix. The Mi Mix to me was like, whoa, this thing is sweet. My only drawback with the Mi Mix is the earpiece. I don't like the earpiece for making phone calls, and I like to hold my phone like this to make phone calls. I don't so much like to use a Bluetooth all the time. I use Bluetooth headphones when I'm going to the gym, but I've already used the V20 as a daily driver. I reviewed the V20 a long time ago. It's okay. It's not my favorite choice for a phone. The G6 is a better purchase for me. Of those two, I would take the G6 over the V20. But you know, this phone looks good. It performs okay. The build quality is okay. The screen is gorgeous. Top tier screen for real. Top tier screen. But performance, I'm expecting a heck of a lot more from TouchWiz. The TouchWiz coupled with the A35 still doesn't do it any justice. I still experience some lag from every now and then, and I just shouldn't. So to the person that said the Note 8, I was going to talk about the Note 8 earlier. To the person that said, hey, you know, the Note 8, they need to bring it or whatever. I was going to talk about the Note 8. The Note 8, I wanted to have a 6.4 inch display. I want it to be wider than this phone. I want it to be about the width of the U Ultra. I want it to have a flat screen. You know, I want a bunch of stuff. I don't want it to look like this phone, you know. I don't like the way Samsung's doing it, where they're making the phones pretty much look the same. Now, I will say this. If they would have kept, I said it in my other video, if they would have kept the design of the S7 and with the flat sides and a flat, oh my gosh, man. I would have been probably so happy with that. I would have been really happy with it. Let me get my glasses. I see a comment I want to read here. Joseph says that, Carl says, if you want true to life photos, don't go with the Samsung phone because the colors are oversaturated. I somewhat agree with that. But I like a punchy screen, but I don't want my photos to come out sometimes too purple or too pink. Joseph says, the thing is that the cell phones run all the same parts and really nothing different. It's the name that you're paying for in technology world. I somewhat agree with that. When you spend that kind of money, Greg T says, on a phone. You can't take the heat. The critical analyst causing reality flood. Yeah, maybe that's what it is, man. People start to regret their purchase. With some Samsung users might be not just Samsung. You can regret a purchase for anything, but when you're spending this kind of money, $900 almost. This came to $893 with taxes. That's a lot of money. Ryan says, I don't like the SA due to the side panel. I know you can I turn off the side panel, but I turn off Bixby and I turn off the edge panel, and it's just kind of sad. When people ask questions like, what should I purchase? I can't tell you what to purchase. Carlos says, what should I buy? The U11, the SA Plus, or the G6? I've reviewed all those phones. So speaking from my point of view, I haven't reviewed the U11, but if I were going to pick between the LG G6 and the SA Plus, I would take the G6. I don't have the U11 yet. So I tell you, pre-order the U11 and figure it out for yourself. I'm an LG fan and I love it. I've always been an LG fan. I love the products. I love what they do. And that's perfectly fine too. Question from Zach Carr. Do Samsung fans not care too much about software? Because you can't deny their software is terrible. I somewhat agree with that. I don't think the software is terrible. I just think that by now they're in the same boat with Apple. Apple's iOS is dated, man. Give me something new, Apple, for iOS 11. Make it look different. Do something. Let me get widgets on the home screen. Something. And Samsung's problem is lag. At some point or another, you're going to get some lag on your Samsung device. The Sony XZ Premium, I plan on getting that phone. I keep getting asked that question. I've said it. I plan on getting that phone, so I don't really want to comment too much on it. Even though people are saying, oh, it's not really a 4K screen, I don't really care what they're talking about. I could care less what other people are talking about. When I want something, I'm going to get it, and that's just what it is. That's not to the person that asked that. I'm just saying I plan on getting that phone, and when I get it, then I want to comment on it. I don't want a phone with no lag. Any good phones out there, 350 to 600. I mean, there's plenty of phones out there, Ryan, that just between 350 and 600 that do not lag. But at some point or another, a lot of phones might get that lag with age. But TouchWiz is just TouchWiz. It just lags and it shouldn't. The Xperia XA1 Ultra, I do plan on grabbing that bad boy too. Yeah, the flat screen, Deborah Dukes. Everybody say hello to Deborah, man. She's always in. I really appreciate Deborah's support. Deborah Dukes, you are absolutely right. A flat screen over a curved screen any day. Randall says the Edge makes me feel like my phone is too fragile, even in a case. I never thought about that. Bixby gets no love. Yeah, LaShawn, Bixby turned it off immediately. Zay says he regrets buying the SA Plus. $840 of my hard-earned money wasted, disappointed for a second year in a row. Sell that bad boy, man. Sell it. Zach said he can't believe Definitive. I remember Zach, or Zay. I remember Zay. Zay was in another live stream one time, and he also commented on another video, and he also commented on another live stream saying, you know what, Jay, I understand what you were coming from and something of that nature, but Zay was going hard on me about the S8. I remember that was about a month ago or so. I don't remember how long it's been. But yeah, I remember. Yeah, Art Dog, you're absolutely right. He said, Art Dog says in a live stream, shout out to the replay crew, by the way. Art Dog says, you rep the S7 all the time. How could you hate Samsung? I don't know. Do you still think the Nexus 6P is a good buy? Of course. Oh yeah, Black Chan 29, definitely. Yeah, and Randall makes a good point, and that's what I say too. TouchWiz isn't terrible. It's just horribly optimized because on one Android it's fragmented like crazy, and that's where Apple wins. No fragmentation on Apple, not like Android, not at all. LaShawn says the Edge screen is definitely whack. I just disable it. I use it on my S7 Edge, and I just kind of figured I don't want it on this S8 Plus because they're kind of trying to join everything together into one. Carlos says Galaxy. That's funny. I love the Honor 8. Oh yeah, the Honor 8 Pro. I do plan on getting that. I do plan on getting that. The V30 is rumored. LG has some tough brand loyalty fans too. LG fans are tough, but I guess it's just the way some of the Samsung fans come across. They're automatically rude and snobbish and just disrespectful. Yes, I will be in the gym soon. Gym every day. I know I got to earn this Gatorade. When you drink Gatorade, you got to earn it. You can't just drink Gatorade. You got to earn them. But LG fans are tough. They're tough. All of the fans, even OnePlus fans are tough, but it's just the way they come across where it's not rude. Most of the brand loyalists are not as rude as Samsung fans. Some, not all. I don't want to disrespect Samsung fans. Not all. Do you think 16:9 is a gimmick or a thing of the... You mean 18:9? No, I don't think 18:9 is a... Because 16:9 is the current ratio that we currently use. 18:9, if that's what you're talking about, I don't think it's a gimmick. I just feel like the curved screen, you know, on the S8 don't do it as much justice because they have 18:5:9 because of how long the phones are, and the G6 has 18:9. So I don't think it's a gimmick. It's just a preference. I prefer a flat screen. That's just what it is. Black Chan says, I can't lie, I'm an LG fan. I'm an LG fan too. Totally love LG phones. People slam me for saying that the LG G6 was a better purchase over the S8. So that's just what I think. If you don't think so, great. And remember when I promoted the Z Max Pro? This phone is great. This is the X Max, Blade X Max, and this is great. I remember all those Samsung fans telling me, "Oh, that whack Z Max Pro, it ain't nothing." I don't know what ZTE did with the screens on these phones, but they are freaking gorgeous. They are gorgeous. And there's another thing. People are now starting to post that I have boot loop, or do I have boot loop on my G6? I'm like, I don't have any boot loop. I don't know anything about no boot loop. I don't have boot loop. I don't have boot loop, so I can't speak on that. Technically T, people slam me for using the iPhone 7 Plus over the S8, but until Samsung learns what optimization is, I can't do it. Hey, it's just what it is. What it is. Shout out to Technically T in the house, y'all. HTC Elevate. What about it? I'm not a part of HTC Elevate. I'm gonna have to research. I think it's a group of just HTC fans, is what it is, I believe. Mo is right. Mo Ban Reed says everyone is entitled to love what they feel they need. Everybody has an entitlement to all. You can like what you want, believe what you want. Yeah, you're right. I had the G6 and the S8. Open both of them up, put the Google Home on. The whites weren't incomparable. The G6 blew it away. Oh, they were saying, you basically saying the screen, the G6, you like the G6 better than the S8. Yeah. All LG phones don't have that boot loop thing. I didn't even know what it was until I heard about it on the internet. Just because I'm reviewing phones, I got time to be reading all this stuff on the internet. I don't believe half the stuff I read on the internet anyway. But when I see people going through that, I don't even pay it any. If it doesn't apply to me, I just kind of move on. I'll talk about it for a second, but I don't really pay that much attention to it. ZTE is stepping up. Jay, well, have you seen the Nubia Z? I have. That Nubia. Whew. Oh man, that Nubia. I cannot wait to get my hands on that. What do you think LG battery of the LG G6 battery life? I get fantastic battery life on my G6. I've had the unlocked G6, and now I have two T-Mobile G6s, one silver, one black, and the black one is unlocked. But I found that the battery life on my T-Mobile variant has better battery life than the unlocked variant. So I sold the unlocked one and then got the black T-Mobile one along with a silver and black, but I had two silvers. I had a silver unlocked and a silver T-Mobile. And in my testing, I found out that the G6s on the T-Mobile variant had better battery life than the unlocked one. That's just my experience. So I sold the silver unlocked one and got the black one from T-Mobile. Then I unlocked it, so I could use it on. I use it on Cricket right now. Can you still get Google Home if you? No, that deal's over. That deal's over. You know, our dog says a comment. You know, maybe people spending over $800 on a phone makes them overly defensive. That's a possibility. Like, and I did a live stream. I did a podcast on this. People look for a reason to validate their purchase. They want to justify why they spent that money, and they do it vicariously through reviewers. And they look for reviews where people are only praising what they purchased, and then they feel better about their purchase. I'm not saying everyone does that, but there are tons of people out there that do that. And you can tell in their comments. If you say something remotely bad or not good about this phone, oh my gosh, people freak out. And not everybody. Andrew Hall, yeah, I just actually got done talking about the XZ Premium. I do plan on getting that phone. I hope so. Would you like a larger U11 with thinner bezels, 16:9? No, because I have the U Ultra, and you're basically describing the U Ultra. And the funny part is, people said, oh, the hardware on the U Ultra is horrible. It's hideous. But they like the U11. Still don't understand that one. Totally the same type of hardware, and it's a smaller package. Not saying that to that person who said that in the comments, but I'm just saying that was something that was floating around the internet. People were saying, you know, the U Ultra is horrible hardware. It doesn't look right. Then the U11 came out, and it was like, oh, this is so gorgeous. I'm like, wait a minute, you just, I guess, man. Mariah, that's how her name is here. Mariah says that there's good and bad in every device. And you're absolutely right, Mariah. You're absolutely right. How big is the LG G6 screen in 60? It's a 5.7 inch display with a 16:9 or 18:9 ratio. So if it was a 16:9 ratio, I don't know how big that screen would be. I think Samsung needs to take their time and do it correct. Totally agree, Deborah. I totally agree. What is taking their time though? Like, what is Samsung doing wrong now? Some people said that Samsung rushed this phone, and then all the Samsung enthusiasts say this is the best phone that hit the market. The reason I disagree with that is because I think the phone that I'm recording this with, doing this live stream with, that I do a lot of recordings with, is much better. The S7, to me, is the better looking phone overall. The hardware is better. The cameras are better. The screen is just as beautiful. It's just flat. This infinity display stuff, man, all they did was wrap the build quality like that. You know that your screen is really squared off, right? You don't believe that the screen is actually the LCD behind this panel. If you have, okay, let me just break your hearts like this for those that didn't know this. If you have an S8 or an S8 Plus, take a screenshot, then send it to somebody else, and watch how that screenshot comes out. Have you heard about the Spigen's beef with the new Essential? Yes, I have. I've heard about that, and I don't really have a comment on it right now. Yeah. User 271. This is a great time to buy an S7 because the prices are going to just keep going lower and lower and lower. You can even grab the Exynos version of the S7, and you get some fantastic battery and a good functioning phone. The fingerprint sensor shows that they rushed it. You think so? You think the S8 was rushed? Samsung loyalists might say otherwise. Who do you think makes better value to performance, taking into account the hardware cost, ZTE or Huawei? Huawei. I think Huawei's the Kirin 960 and 950 perform worlds ahead of the Snapdragon processors. That's just a fact. To me, it is. Miguel says the current S8 is Plan B design. Plan A was supposed to have a fingerprint scanner in the screen. Okay. source would be great, but you know, I hear what you're saying. I've heard those rumors too. Samsung, in my opinion, needs, this is from Eric, oh, shout out to Eric, man. Eric's in the house. Samsung said, Samsung, in my opinion, needs to pull a LG and take it back to the basics and go with basic features, smooth out the hardware, out with a really solid device, and then they'll be back on top. I don't disagree with you. Yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying. Yeah, user 62271 says, yes, it was totally a rush job. He has an engineering background. Yeah, bad placement, couldn't have tested it much more, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, this fingerprint reader, the reason that I only use that to log into like my credit union or my bank, I use it to log into applications, but it would be nice if they implemented the iris scanner to log into your banking applications. I would love that. But the fingerprint reader is placed kind of silly. D Love Tech says, Jay, do you think going forward most phones will come with a smaller chin? And oh yeah, this is the direction that I think the OEMs are going to go in. It's just going to be a trend. I mean, you know, I don't have to have that though, because this bad boy right here, man, I'll take those dual speakers out front like this. The current dual speaker setup on some of these phones, where it's a speaker, the earpiece up top is the speaker, and you got one coming out the bottom, that's never going to sound as good as two speakers facing you. It just won't happen. This is still the king of speakers. The king of speakers, Axon 7. No doubt. I don't think, okay, so technically T says, I don't think they rushed the phone at all. Their main focus was focusing on the battery and making sure that it was straight. I think the Note will be the device that we're hoping for, hopefully. Technically T. And he has an engineering background as well. A lot of engineers in the house. Shout out to the engineers. I don't think Samsung rushed. The reason I can't speculate on whether they rushed it or not, I just feel like they put out a product that they thought everybody wanted, or they got the schematics of some of the devices that were coming out. They locked in that deal with Qualcomm, which is why we don't see a G6 with an 835. And then they knew Apple was going to bring out that phone with the front that looks exactly like the iPhone is going to be the same design on the front, different on the back, but the same design on the front. Yeah. Pixel 2 will be the best Android device in 2017. How so? We don't have any specs on the Pixel yet. We don't have it in hand. I'm not trying to call you out, and I didn't say your name. But how is the Pixel 2? It doesn't even exist yet. We don't have any official leaks, nothing. So when people make comments like that, I think you're just hoping that it's going to fulfill all your needs that you want in a smartphone. Paul Freeman. Hey, Paul Freeman's in the house. He says, Samsung loyalist, but one thing I can say is that from my hand, the fingerprint reader on the Samsung S8 is a perfect spot for me. Now on the S8, I agree. The S8 is much smaller than this S8 Plus, so getting to the fingerprint reader is easy. A lot of tech reviewers have said that, man, I really like the S8's fingerprint reader, because the S8, as far as the fingerprint reader goes, because it's a smaller phone. But on this phone right here, and I got big hands, you know, so it's still in an awkward place for the big one. The small one, totally agree. And I like how Paul said he's a Samsung loyalist. Zay says they didn't rush the phone at all. They didn't rush the S8. People saying they rushed it because of the whole Note 7 thing. People think Samsung was desperate to put out a device. A whole year passed, didn't it? I don't see how they could have. A year passed, right, before they even released it. So, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. A year went by, I think, before they even did that. Why not wait 2 months at least to have Bixby done? You know, I kind of agree with that. I think it's kind of jacked up that they brought out Bixby and gave it a hardware button. Eli, I don't know what happened with Michael Fisher. I don't know. You didn't miss anything on this stream because I don't know. I guess he had something to do with HTC on Twitter, and somebody tried to get at me on Twitter about I'm supporting HTC all of a sudden. I don't know what that person was talking about. I don't know. I don't even know what happened with Michael Fisher because I don't follow Michael Fisher on Twitter. I don't follow his YouTube channel. I don't follow anything he does. It's not that I dislike him or anything. I just don't follow him. But I don't know what happened to Michael Fisher. Hit him on Twitter and ask him. Or if you click on his name or on Twitter, you'll see what they're talking about. But I'm not a part of the Elevate thing or whatever it is from HTC. And I'm not a part of like any HTC community, so I have no clue. Yeah, I mean, Tech Junkies, since they did give it a hardware button, it could at least work. Being able to customize the button would have been nice. Then they locked it down. Oh, Paul Freeman says he's not a Samsung loyalist. That was Google Voice. He was using Google Voice. What's going on? Low Key Mo. What's going on? I like that icon, man, from Low Key Mo. They could have at least left the button as a programmable key. So, oh, yeah, I was just saying that too. Yeah, I mean, I still would like to have the Note 7 back. And I know the Note 7 had a curved screen, but the Note 7 was more squared off. You remember how the Note 7 looked? It was squared off. I really like the Note 7. I really wish I would not have given it up. I wish I had not given my phone back. I went through 4 of those to get the right one. And when I finally got it, they started saying I had to return it. And I believed that I had to return it, and I returned it. And then, afterwards, everybody was keeping theirs. I was like, man. So I wish I had not have given it up, man. They are going to come out with, it's called the Note 7R. That's the name of it, as far as I know online from what I saw, the Note 7R. And it's just stands for refurbished probably, even though it's technically not refurbished. It's still new. It's just their leftovers that, because all the ones that they got back, they destroyed those more than likely. They don't want to have that kind of risk. So these are probably just leftover generations that they had that they rebuilt with a different battery. That's it. And it just goes to show what Samsung thinks about their fans in the US. All these people over here, the media hyped it up, talking about, oh, it blew up and all this other stuff. I said it before. I spoke on that so many times. Samsung was straight set up. The Note 7 was getting ready to tear some phones to twisters, man. It was getting ready to tear them to pieces. And it was very popular. Everybody had it pretty much. Sold like hotcakes right away. Then all of a sudden that junk happens and they get set up like that. I still believe they got set up. That's what I believe. That's just me. I still believe. That was a drop in the bucket for Samsung. You say it cost Samsung billions, but that was a drop in the bucket for Samsung. That didn't hurt them at all. They've already made that back in twofold probably with the sales of this phone. Samsung's still #1 mobile maker in the world. Some other brands are good with 1 or 2 things, but Samsung gives you all-around phone with more great features. That's from Power Moves. And see, the reason I kind of disagree with that is because a lot of the features that are on these phones, to me, are in the way. Some of these features are just in the way. It's stuff that I don't even use, man. And a lot of people don't use it. I think if the Note 7 was a really big success and all those, they weren't set up the way they were, I wonder what the fate of this phone would have been. I wonder what the fate of the Pixel would have been. I was having some issues with my Note 7, and I still got those videos up, but there was just a lot going wrong with the Note 7, and I wish it wouldn't have happened for him like that, because I really wanted to keep my Note 7. We bought a couple of them, man. We bought 3 of them actually, and it was a good phone. And people now who have them, don't want to sell them, and you can't blame them. They don't want to sell them. You know, it's a collector's item now. You know, that phone isn't going to blow up, you know? And, you know, it's just something that happened. All right, Greg, take care, Greg. What some people might consider to be great features in a phone, I don't. I just feel like it's just things that are in the way of performance. That's what I think. If they take away all these gestures and all this other crazy stuff they have on here, I think it would be TouchWiz will be so much better. So brand loyalty is what I started the stream with. So I'll close on this note, the BlackBerry KeyOne. I'll close with the BlackBerry KeyOne because I'm going to get out of here. I got to start my live podcast. If you're not following me on Spreaker, follow me on Spreaker because I do a live podcast every Tuesday. But I'll close out. You know, the purpose of this stream was just a quick PSA to talk about brand loyalty and why does it exist? Why do people need validation for their purchases, or why do people need other people to validate to help them think that they've made a good deal, or you know, why do they feel like I gotta do this? I gotta go and troll these other companies because I like this company. Just a video on brand loyalty. What does it mean to you? Are you a loyalist to one brand? Do you go around trashing other brands because you think your brand is the best? Would love to hear from you down below. From the replay crew, that is, or if you're watching this and it's not live at this point, would love for you to, hopefully you stuck around for this hour and 45 minutes, or however long this video is going to turn out to be, and give your opinion on it, you know. So let's close out with the BlackBerry KeyOne. BlackBerry loyalist, and I am a BlackBerry loyalist. Believe it or not, I really am. Love the Blackberries. But I don't go around trashing other phones. People, and it got to the point where I guess people felt like I just hate BlackBerry. Every time I disagree, I think it's funny. Every time I disagree with something about a brand, I now hate that brand, and I'm a hater of that brand. And YouTubers get that a lot, though. I'm just the type of YouTuber, I'll just call the people out or something like that if I need to. But the BlackBerry KeyOne was on my radar, and it's still on my radar. I can actually walk into Best Buy right now and buy the KeyOne. But at the price point that it's at, my total cost is, where's my calculator at? My total cost is kind of expensive. And you just ask yourself, would you pay this price? $549 times 8.25, $43.37. My total price is $593.36. That's my total price for the BlackBerry KeyOne. So, I mean, would you pay? No, Best Buy isn't sold out. They got a new shipment. And so now they're in stores and online. Would you pay almost $600 for the BlackBerry KeyOne? Would you do that? Personally, I wouldn't. There are too many other phones out there that the BlackBerry KeyOne is trying to compete with. And before people start saying, oh, it's the most secure, I don't care. Man, I don't have any virus software on any of these phones, man. I don't care about them like that. There's nothing on these phones that are that important to me. And that's why I just feel like that is a gimmick or a selling. That's just some kind of sales pitch. It's the most secure. I've been a BlackBerry guy. Yeah, Gary Brown knows I'm a real BlackBerry loyalist. And I'm always be a BlackBerry loyalist. I like BlackBerry. I'm waiting on them to do something different. I don't care when people say, oh, Jay, you need to give it up. It's a failure. BlackBerry's dead. I don't care about all that. I can voice my opinion about BlackBerry 10 all I want to. I'm a BlackBerry user not integrated with Android. So, you know, if I want a KeyOne, I can just go spend $60 on the keyboard and snap it on my S8. There's a keyboard for it. There's Android keyboards. You know, the BlackBerry KeyOne for me, like I just said, it comes to a total of $593 out the door. That's $600. So that means that I'll take that over the Ultra. I'll take that over the G6. the Moto G5 Plus, the ZTE devices, all the ZTE phones that I have. That means that phone is going to have to top all of those, and that's who it's competing with. I can't say. Would you take the KeyOne over the Axon 7? Pause. Would you take the KeyOne over the OnePlus 3T? Pause. Over the OnePlus 3? You probably, I can name a ton of phones that you probably would not take over the KeyOne. So when it comes to brand loyalty, I'll admit, I'm definitely a brand loyalist to BlackBerry. I've supported BlackBerry since day one. I had a BlackBerry when some of you guys might not have been born yet. I had the first BlackBerry. I'm just a BlackBerry fan. I still have a BlackBerry. I had a couple of them, but I just got this one sitting right here. Just happen to have this one sitting right here. One of the best phones. BlackBerry 10 is just one of the best. It can run Android apps. It can do a lot. And I'm a BlackBerry loyalist. You know, I probably will always be a BlackBerry loyalist. I like Windows Phone too. I just decided to cut Windows Phone off. Now I officially cut Windows Phone off. This is in response to someone saying this in the comments. What about Windows Phone? I actually like Windows Phone. Windows Phone runs better than Samsung's TouchWiz. You don't think so? It's on you. But Windows Phone runs super smooth. But BlackBerry, I actually prefer BlackBerry 10. It's just not getting the support. There it is, folks. The BlackBerry 10 operating system has lost all support. BlackBerry is not willing to do what it takes for the real enthusiasts for BlackBerry. I'm one of them. Now, I may cover a lot of Android. Passport is just boss. Oh my gosh, yeah. Gary Brown, you said it best. I may cover a lot of BlackBerry, a lot of Android stuff, but there's absolutely no denying that BlackBerry is always going to be one of my top favorite operating systems to date. I can't stop waiting on BlackBerry. If they bring out a BlackBerry with BlackBerry OS, I'm going to buy it. If they give us a Snapdragon 821 on a BlackBerry 10, I'm gonna buy it. They give us a version of the KeyOne with BlackBerry OS, I'm probably gonna buy it. More than likely, it'll be here. And you know, the KeyOne is on my radar, but and again, I am a BlackBerry loyalist. Go check my channel out. I'm pro BlackBerry. But at $549, that means that I'm ranking it up there with the pricing of my G6. My Moto G5 Plus it's a better purchase than those phones, and it's not. It's got the same internals as the G5 Plus. I don't need a keyboard. I type really fast with the on-screen keyboard. Like really fast. So, I really hope that, how many phones do I have? Man, probably only like 20 or 30, I don't know. Not that many. Because what I'll do is I'll keep the ones that I feel like are worth keeping, that it's worth. I slipped up with the Note 7, I admit, and I slipped up with several phones by getting rid of them. But pretty much, I don't know, I might have 20, 25, I don't know. But they're pretty much all current phones. Most of them are current phones, current models. I don't have very many old models, but I'm waiting on the KeyOne. Is it worth 565 euros I pay? Not at all. No, he says no, not at all. The BlackBerry does look good. You know, I have, oh, if you count my iPhones, I got a lot of phones. The BlackBerry KeyOne does look great. But I can't spend $593.36 on it right now. It's not that I don't have the money. I just choose not to. I don't want to give them that much money because they're not listening to me. So I'm not just going to accept the first thing that they throw out there because they say it's great. You know, I'd come out better if I just wanted a keyboard. I'll go grab a Priv again. I had the Priv. I'll go grab that again. I can grab that thing for half the cost. $250, get a brand new Priv. So, it's your man Jay Will. I'm going to spin, and I want to get out of here. I didn't plan this stream, but I wanted to address real quick this brand loyalty thing. It's kind of really old. If you don't like a brand, don't follow that brand. If you do like a brand, follow that brand. Don't troll. Don't troll YouTubers, you know, posting silly comments about one brand being better than the other. Because you're not going to get the response you want from that YouTuber, probably. A YouTuber is probably a universal YouTuber who has all brands, and they're not going to give you what you want. So it's your man Jay Will. Thanks for hanging out for an hour and 45 minutes with me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.